I think we'll do just a little vlog tonight. It's getting kind of late. It's after 8 p.m. and it's on Saturday. So we're gonna have a live stream tomorrow, which I know is basically just a live vlog, but nonetheless, some oddities have been taking place. If you watched my Mastodon video, I made that just for people who were struggling to figure out what Mastodon is or does or that sort of a thing. There was tons of flickering. It wasn't exactly screen tearing, but tons of flickering only on the screen capture itself. Like the what I was seeing was fine, but on the recorded version, it was really flickery. And I didn't know what the deal was. I thought it was maybe like Chrome. It turns out it's actually a big issue with OBS and Linux, of course, and using hardware accelerated compositors. Which, if I just said stuff that doesn't make sense, that's okay. It's a compositor makes things on X Windows work better and smoother and just nicer. It makes the whole experience on X Windows better, and you can hardware accelerate that, like GLX if you have a video card. The problem is that seems to conflict with how OBS captures Windows using like something. I don't remember what they basically just capture it and it's all flickery and screwed up. So I try to do a lot of things. There's like suggestions like turn off VSync and turn off NVIDIA flipping, and I tried all those things and I thought they were working, and but then they weren't. In the end, I actually just run my compositor without hardware acceleration. It just uses X-render, and everything is fine. I was just doing hardware acceleration with my compositor because I could, but I mean, everything seems to work perfectly fine with it just using X-render. And then I can actually record things on my screen, and it doesn't seem to tear. So I'll just show you around this to make sure that my assumptions are correct. This is Krita or Krita. I don't know how to say it exactly, but this is the application that I am going to draw my comic on. As you can see, I actually started drawing comic for the first time in a very long time. Um, and it for drawing, it's actually really nice. I do really like it. I was able to import my palettes. The brush options over here are actually really nice. The built-in brushes are just stinking awesome. And so, like when I do let me get rid of some of these so we can see. When I do the um, like this path right here, like the little gravel path, depending on what tool I'm using, it can be kind of difficult to get like a nice looking gravelly kind of look. But this has just some great like speckle tools, and it's like a heavy speckle. Here, I'll just start drawing on stuff. Let me get a new layer here so I can just erase the layer. So yeah, let's say I wanted some like, oh, I gotta. So this is something too. Even if I select the brush like preset over here, I still have to select the brush, which seems a little redundant, but nevertheless, I can select the brush and then I can use the tool. And it is just kind of, it's like it's not really spray paint because it's like splotchy, but there's that one, and then like this one is a little more pressure sensitive, but it does some cool things. And that's what I use when I do like gravel. I use things like this. This is a really interesting speckly effect as well. You can see it's really light. That's like for like doing um, like points of light in a dark sky. So anyway, there's just a lot of really nice brushes. Like I tend to use this one. No, that's at size 3. I don't know why that's size 3. Can up that to size 6. And then this is generally what I like to draw the characters with, is just this pen, and it works really well. But all that aside, the frustrating part with Krita is not the drawing. The drawing is pretty great. I actually do really like the drawing. The frustrating part is with the speech bubbles. There's not a really easy way to make something as simple as a speech bubble, at least not one that I can figure out. I had to make I actually did a lot of things, but this is a vector. It's not just a square, it's actually a vector. And if we switch over here, this is a vector tool, and I'm on this vector layer. Well, the text is also a vector layer. There, we can select just this box and see we can move it around. But because it's a vector, I can also resize it, which is really really nice. And if we double click on it, you'll see it didn't work here. Oh, I went to text. Okay, here we go. There. This is actually how I plan to use this. I actually created this vector image, this like square with the rounded corners image, and it actually looks like this as like the default. Okay, so this is when I import it in, I get something like this, and then depending on where my characters are, I just grab one of these and I will, bring it down, and then I can adjust this a little bit if I want it skinnier. But anyway, that is what I had to do. I had to create this whole thing, and you have to do these little dots one at a time. It's so crazy. But I think now that I have this all set, I'll be able to just reuse this graphic, this vector graphic, as a speech bubble, and then I'll make another round one for the other characters. If you don't know, Blue always has a square speech bubble, and everybody else has an oval speech bubble for no reason. I just have always done it that way. The other frustrating part, though, is that let me see if I can get off of this. Um, the speech or the text itself doesn't word wrap. It's really weird. So when you put in, let me see if I can double click on it. Will it let me edit? Yeah. You get this speech thing, and you basically have to insert the like your line breaks on your own. It's really, it's kind of bizarre that it doesn't have the feature of word wrap in to constrain inside the box. But I mean, it is what it is. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to do that way. So anyway, I can do that, and that's how I'm going to do the comic, is using Krita. And I was explaining all this because Krita was one of the apps that was doing that horrible flickery thing. So you're actually my test subject. It actually appears to be working really, really well. So anyway, that's where my comic is. So hopefully, maybe tomorrow, maybe it'll be Monday, I'll actually get the comic done. I ran into so many problems with speech bubbles that I didn't get past the first pane of my comic today. But nonetheless, it's going to be good. And Krita works really well. I still have one issue where if I put my palm, even though touch is turned off on my Wacom like tablet, if I put my palm down after a few seconds, my you can't really see this, but I'm trying to move with my pen, and it just completely disables the stylus until with my grubby finger I touch the screen, and then it comes back and works fine. So I don't know if it's something in the hardware or if there's something that I haven't been able to turn off with the Wacom drivers. I put an issue in with the set X Wacom in the on GitHub to see if anybody has any idea what is actually being triggered, and if it's at the kernel level of Linux, or if it's actually just something in the hardware that it's like waiting for like some secondary gesture. I really don't know what's going on there. It's really super annoying though. So my hope is that I can eventually figure that out. But what I did in the meantime, it's not up here. It's actually downstairs on my nightstand. But I got a partial glove. It goes over these two fingers and the side here. Let's go back up here. It goes over this part of my hand, and it has an anti-capacitive thing. So when I'm putting my hand on the tablet, it should not register anything on there at all. I haven't tried it yet. It just came in, so I will try that the next time I draw, just to put that on, and then it's kind of a low tech solution. But if it works, it works. And I guess that is it. I have been working on a couple other things. So I did a Patreon poll to see what people wanted to see more of. My comic was one of the ones that got votes. Also, non Linux Plus tech videos, which was interesting for me. That actually got the most votes. So I will be. This is going to be on my secondary channel, but I will be doing some non Linux Plus stuff mixed in with my Linux Plus stuff. I haven't done much of anything as far as like real training videos or project videos go because I haven't gotten my computer working until very, very recently. And now I'm playing catch up on work and everything else. So I'm looking forward to what's going to happen though in the near future because it is nice to get to mix up a little bit from Linux Plus to something else. So I think eventually it's going to be at least one Linux Plus video per week, and then another video or two that has to do with something Linux, but not specific to Linux Plus. And of course, I'm still doing the 90 Days of Mayhem, so there's going to be something every day, but it could be a YouTube short, or it could be a vlog like this, or, I don't know, I could dress up my cat and take videos of that. But anyway, so that's where I am. I think I'm going to be done right now. Oh, one other thing. If I can just pick it up. So I did get the Stream Deck working for all those who were concerned about me not getting my Stream Deck not working. It still has a couple issues that it doesn't work well. I use it in combination with a WebSocket thing to control OBS now, and that seems to work fairly consistently well. It's still, I can't use it if my VM is in focus. Like when I'm controlling a VM with Spice, because I'm using KVM QEMU. When I'm controlling it with Vert Manager and it uses the Spice protocol, it like takes control of my mouse and keyboard, which you would expect, but it also takes control of the Stream Deck, and I don't know how to separate that because I would like the Stream Deck to be completely separate from the VM's interaction, so I can press a button and then behind the VM it actually activates different things in my underlying operating system. I didn't figure that out yet. So if anybody knows anything about how to make like a device work while your VM has focus, I'd be interested in knowing. I don't know if it's like a UDEV thing where I can make it like not see it, because it doesn't see it as a USB device, but the keystrokes, like when I press that button, the VM beeps. Like I don't know what it's seeing, but it's like beep beep. It's like, yeah, that's not cool. So I don't want it to see it at all. But anyway, that's a small issue that isn't horribly important. Same thing with like the Wacom tablet on my palm. That's something that's manageable. But now that this seems to be working without the flickering, that was the big thing. That was something up with which I could not put because I couldn't record a screen at all. It was super annoying. Like I said, if you haven't seen that Mastodon video, that was super annoying. But I think this is going to work well now. So anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry, it was just a lame vlog. I hope you can come tomorrow to the live stream. We're going to cover virtual hosts with a web server and how that actually works. So I'm going to demonstrate that. I haven't even set it up yet, but we're going to demonstrate that. And now it shouldn't flicker while I show how it's done. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Remember, I know it's the wrong channel, but still, learn everything. Do what you love. And most importantly, be kind. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.